was like, the perfect time to actually do like a robbery. Actually, no, this is not a good thing to be saying on podcast.
You're not serious about it.
Yeah, choose your words wisely. But yeah, go on.
Satire.
So I was thinking, like, you get a bunch of people all dressed up in Halloween clothing, and then they enter the bank, and then they all start dancing, doing crazy things. So people think it's like, nothing really serious. But then one guy goes to the teller and be like, hey, give me all your money, kind of a thing. And then after they rob the bank, they just walk out and nothing. Like, it seems like there's no way you can like actually spot like what just happened.
So dress up like you're trick-or-treating.
Yeah, like it's Halloween night, and then a bunch of people just storm into the bank.
But the banks aren't open on Halloween night. They close at 5.
Oh, that's racist.
That defeats the purpose.
There's a giant loophole in your plan.
Greetings and fist bumps. This is The Raised Eyebrow, the podcast that puts the peeping in people. We mean that in a non-creepy way, of course, because someone's got to do it. And we are your hosts, Kojo, Alex, and Mike. In this episode, we get into aliens. Took us long enough, but hey, better late than never, right? We wax unpoetically about alien life all the time. Does it exist? What's taking them so long to say hi? What does Alex think? What does Kanye West think? These are the important questions, and we will pretend to have some answers by asking more questions. Join us. How's it going, fellas?
Good. How are you?
Oh, just looking in the skies for unidentified flying objects.
Yeah. We have talked about aliens a lot randomly. I guess it's about time we actually have an episode completely for just aliens. And we're going to answer the question. This is the definitive source for whether or not aliens exist. What do you guys think?
Yeah,
we love aliens.
You love aliens?
Oh, we're definitely...
Okay, so Kojo loves them.
Credible.
Well,
oh, yeah.
Definitely credible, yeah. Yeah.
Reputable source of information, the Raised Eyebrow podcast hosts. Well, yeah, it's funny because it always comes up, like the conversation of aliens has trickled into other episodes that we've done, but we haven't actually done a specific episode on just aliens. And then off the air, a couple of weeks back, we were talking about simulation theory, and that kind of triggered the thought of doing this episode. And then one of our tasks was to predict what Alex thinks.
Yes. Yeah. So there's two parts here. You're going to tell me what you think, what you actually believe, and then you're going to predict what my answer is going to be. And then I'll tell you what my
Challenge
answer
accepted.
is. Yes.
Challenge accepted. Kojo, you want to go first, or do you want me to do the honors?
You go first. You go first.
Okay. So part one.
Do aliens exist?
I think do aliens exist? It's a yes and no from me. I think if aliens exist, I don't think they exist in the way that we think of them or conceptualize them, like the humanoid form of aliens. I think maybe they're bacteria or something that we can't fathom with our monkey mind. I don't think it's necessarily the spaceship, the green guy with the skinny body and the big brain. This is just human imagination. Sorry, go ahead.
So, because alien kind of has like things that are grouped in there, and you kind of unpacked a certain part. Because there's alien, the way that we think of it as like the Greys, which are like in their spaceships hovering around Earth. But then from a more scientific level, you have, does life from another planet exist, which could be bacteria? And then does intelligent life from another planet exist? So there's kind of like two major categories there. So
yeah, and illegal immigrants too.
We're not getting to that conversation. Yeah, we'll leave that one to
Sorry.
to
Too soon.
yeah to podcasts that love to have an active comment section.
Yep. Okay, and then part
Right.
2 of that, what does Alex think? So because we were talking about the simulation theory, so this is also kind of what I think, but I think that this thought was triggered based on our simulation conversation. So my guess is that Alex thinks aliens could be part of the simulation algorithm, or that we are somehow the aliens, which I think could make sense if the theory is that alien life is simply not part of our simulated reality. Does that make sense? Maybe. No?
The theory makes sense. Yeah,
Okay.
I'll tell you mine in a bit.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Kojo.
Yeah.
You're
All right,
up.
Kojo,
buddy.
you're up.
Okay. So if aliens exist and perhaps maybe they're in a simulation, then perhaps it explains the reason why they haven't actually been found on Earth itself, like walking in the middle of the street, but they're always in spaceship. Because then perhaps the simulation is only meant for like spaceship. Because by far that's the only place we've seen it, unless someone has seen it in their rooms like ghosts. We've not heard anything like that. So that's my point. I think, well, in a way, so what I'm trying to say is I don't think they do exist. And even if they do exist, then perhaps I'll be on the same idea with what Mike is saying. They're probably, it's impossible for us to see it with our naked eye. Or they're probably like a living organism or something like that. Like something that is not in the shape of a 2-eye or 8 eyes with head, arms, and legs similar to ours, but probably something else.
Okay,
I like
nice.
it.
Um,
And now the
So
moment of
good-
truth.
a moment of truth. Yeah. So I'm gonna go into my explanations. So
Tell us.
I'm gonna start off with like just for the sake of our listeners to understand. So there's one equation. It's called the Drake equation, which kind of is a mathematical approach to kind of rationalizing using logic in terms of how much intelligent life there is out there. So it tries to solve for the number of civilizations which humans could communicate with in our universe that we know of. So they would measure things like the mean rate of star formation, so the average rate of star formation, fraction of stars that have planets, the number of planets that could support life per star with planets. So think of like the Goldilocks zone, so it's not too hot, not too cold, which is where you find Earth in the Milky Way, in our solar system. Then you have the fraction of life-supporting planets that develop life, the fraction of planets where life develops intelligence. So as life starts to evolve, not all life becomes intelligent. We kind of touched on that earlier with like bacteria. It's still life, but it's not necessarily intelligent life where it can build a spaceship or build a radio of some sort to actually communicate with another planet. So that's what they mean by intelligent. The length of time that civilizations can communicate, they have to overlap at some period of time. Civilizations that do develop, like in theory, once they get more technology, some of that technology is used to kill themselves through like nuclear war and whatnot. So there could be a fleeting time that they could actually communicate. And then you also have to be able
Are
to
they
communicate
trying
back.
to say that?
These are
Sorry,
just
are they trying to
civilizations
say
that
that this aliens, these alien species think the way we do? Because we would bomb ourselves.
That's another good point too. That's like a whole, we can get into that one after, like if aliens do exist, then would they actually be like us, or do we have this like incredibly biased view of aliens, which Mike touched on in his explanation? If you think of that stereotypical alien, it's 2 eyes, a nose, and a mouth, 2 arms, 2 legs, and that's the thing with the aliens. So
They're super skinny.
and they're super skinny.
Exactly.
Just poor diet for some reason.
Yeah. We can get into that part in a minute.
Do your thing. Have you guys heard of Fermi's paradox?
I have.
Hermes,
but
no.
Do you mind?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This one's pretty famous in the nerd community. So the Fermi paradox, the definition is that there is a discrepancy between the lack of conclusive evidence of advanced extraterrestrial life and the high likelihood that they do exist. So in other words, if alien life exists in the vast galaxy, someone from somewhere, being the aliens, would have come calling by now, but nothing. So how do you rationalize that being the case?
I think I have an answer to that. What if our technology is not as powerful as theirs? So
Probably.
like we have the radio waves, all these stuff, and perhaps we haven't identified one of the most powerful rays that we could communicate with.
Yeah, like to use, say, cell phones as an example. Like if you were to use a cell phone from 1990 and you try to use it today, most of them wouldn't work because the technology that we use to communicate using our radio frequencies just wouldn't receive that signal. It would not connect to anything, and you wouldn't be able to call anybody. And that's within our planet using our technology. So yeah, your point's probably like true in a lot of ways. Like you have to have the same technology on both ends in order to connect with each other. So yeah,
100%. Part of Fermi's paradox, it breaks down into different explanations for the paradox, and one of those is evolutionary explanations. So a couple of points under that category, and I'm sure I'll toss these in as different categories come out. But for the evolutionary explanations, point number one is that intelligent alien species have not developed advanced technologies like we have. So that pretty much covers what you guys just said. Point number two, it's the nature of intelligent life to destroy itself. Look at humans. Point number three, civilizations only broadcast detectable signals for a brief period of time. And point number four, alien life may be too incomprehensible. So another possibility is that human theoreticians have underestimated how much alien life might differ from that of ours on Earth, and aliens may be psychologically unwilling to attempt to communicate with human beings. Perhaps human mathematics is unique to Earth and not shared by other life. It breaks down into a bunch of nuances, but it's pretty interesting.
Yeah,
So,
just to build to that, like your eyes, for example, in terms of all light, you go from like gamma rays, X-rays, ultraviolet rays, then you have the visible spectrum, which is 10% of all light. And then you have below that, there's infrared, microwave, and radio waves. So you only see 10% out of 90% or 100% of all light. 90% of light you don't actually see. So that just that always kind of sticks in my mind. I know that like when you're getting a signal from something else, like it's not necessarily the case, but there's a lot of the world that you don't see, and there's a lot of life that you don't see. So it's possible that something could be existing, maybe even right in front of us, that you just are completely unaware of. Which if you go down a lot of ghost rabbit holes on Reddit, that's what they get into. But to answer the question in terms of the Drake equation, so somebody did kind of put it together. I think it was that Drake guy, actually. Let me check my sources. This is from Wikipedia, so this is definitely accurate.
100%.
Yeah. Or askanEarthspaceScientist.asu.edu is the website. And the answer is 12,500 intelligent alien civilizations, which may currently exist, is the answer that specific person came up with using the Drake equation. But the universe is a very big place. And for an example, I think it's Voyager 2, or one of the Pioneer, which is the oldest or the longest traveling human object. It still has not reached the outer rim of our solar system. So it's still in our solar system. And it's like very, very far away. I'll have to figure out what the distance is, but probably just put this in right now. Hey, it's post-production Alex here. So Voyager 1 has reached a distance of 23.381 billion kilometers away from Earth. That's also 14.528 billion miles for our American friends. So really long distance. It's also joined by Pioneer, the two Pioneer probes, and Voyager 2. As of 2023, the Voyager spacecrafts are both still in operation beyond the outer boundary of the helisphere in interstellar space. However, they have yet to reach the Oort cloud, and they won't do so for another 300 years. And the Oort cloud is this cloud of debris that essentially surrounds our solar system, which effectively is the edge of our solar system. And then after that, you essentially reach the Milky Way galaxy at that point. So they still have a long distance to travel to actually get out of our solar system. So that's how far it is. And it's nowhere near the end of our solar system. So that just kind of gives you an idea of how big just where our solar system is, which is just our 9 planets. Pluto is a planet, according to me. And it's a big place. The universe is a big place. There's no other life in our solar system, but it's definitely, and we're also out in the boonies too. Like the arm of the Milky Way galaxy that we're on is way out in the boonies. It's like not even in the suburbs of a city. Like we're just like outside of the suburbs, you know?
We're the rednecks of the Milky Way.
Yeah, we are definitely in redneck country of Milky Way.
It's funny. There's well, not funny, but it's trippy. We'll use the word trippy. There's a video on YouTube that type in like our galaxy zoomed out from Earth, or our universe zoomed out from Earth, something like that, and it zooms out starting on like some guy's house. And it goes, it's so.
I think it's something by. I think Eames, Ray Charles Eames, have a video. Is that what you're talking about?
I'm not sure who.
It starts with like the molecules. It starts with two.
Charles.
There are
and
two
Ray
people in a
Eames.
park, and then it zooms out.
Yep, that's the one. There's a few of them. I'm sure you could find them all over YouTube, but a few of them are really well done. But regardless, it's mind blowing. Like you feel so small. If that is a simulation, it's very sophisticated. And if it's not, it's also sophisticated. So So regardless, it's still a mind fuck. Pardon my French.
Talking about sophistication, why is it that with all the technology that they are able to build a spaceship and travel light years onto Earth, but then once they get to Earth, like you usually hear stories of an alien found naked. How come they can't
Pack luggage.
That's just Britney Spears.
travel with their clothing on?
Can you imagine that? Like you're halfway, like you're like 100,000 light years away from your home plane. You're like, ah, crap! I forgot my luggage.
Didn't pack any toothpaste.
That's why they always end up at a convenience store at a gas station. So you need to get a toothbrush and toothpaste.
Some suburban backyard. Why are they naked? I don't know. There's no clothes in the interventions.
And then what's up with cows? Like, what is their interest in cows? Is it because maybe they like milk or something?
Maybe they're probably hungry. Yeah. Well, they're also like very skinny too, so they probably need a lot of calcium. There's this one PlayStation 2 game I played growing up, and you played as the aliens, and you would just go around and just like kill humans and like fight the army and stuff like that, and try to take over towns and abduct people. Those are your missions. It's so fun.
Grand Theft Auto for aliens?
Yeah, basically, yeah. It's just like Grand Theft Auto, but you're an alien. Yeah, and you get like ray guns and stuff. And
What's this called?
destroy all humans.
We're all humans?
Destroy all humans.
Oh, destroy all humans.
Yeah.
Why have I not heard of this?
Okay, so without further ado, I will get into what my theory is. So we talked about the Drake equation, Fermi paradox, and you both don't think that aliens are here necessarily, is what I got. Not in the way that you would think in terms of like spaceships, UFOs, whatnot. Now, but we all kind of think that we do live in a simulation, right? Like it's more plausible that we are in a simulation than in base reality. And because of those two things being more likely or true, that makes me think that aliens are more real. The more I think about it, the more real it is, because if we are in a simulation, it defies the logic that we actually are using in order to justify that there are no aliens here. Because we're saying that aliens have to travel all these light years to get here and how big our solar system is. But if we live in a simulation, just like any computer game, like Grand Theft Auto, you could just materialize a tank right in front of you playing a video game. So there's no reason why you can't just materialize a giant alien spaceship in the middle of nowhere. And that's kind of essentially the basis of my theory. It relies completely on the fact that we live in base reality. But when you factor in simulation, we're not in base reality. So simply put, we are living in a computer, and so-called reality in that computer is at the whims of whoever controls the simulation. They could add ghosts, aliens, dinosaurs, superheroes. It's totally up to them. So that's what kind of makes it, to me, that's what makes it seem more plausible, and why when you see all the stuff that you see, because a lot of ghost stuff, there's no consistency between them, and probably half the stuff is people just trying to scare people and someone dressed up in makeup or cool camera trickery. But there are some stuff out there that could seem likely, could seem plausible, and that just makes me think that there could be something there, and that's essentially what my theory is, in a very gist and quick and dirty way, really.
Can I?
Yeah, go ahead.
Can I jump in for a second? Okay, so right now my internet is very slow, so I've turned off my video, and I was thinking, so if we're in a simulation, what if I'm talking to you, Alex, and Alex freezes in real life?
Oh wow, yeah.
Because your internet is slow.
Yeah, I wonder if there would be like a lag in the simulation.
Could be.
Right, that's what I mean. Like, you're talking to someone and then you freeze.
Well, it depends what the rules of the simulations are, right? Is it just like, it could just be just chaos, or there's no specific programming for your internet not working, but it could be, I don't know. It gets deep on that one.
Well, I think it would make sense, because certain sicknesses where, like, you get sick, for instance, maybe like cancer could be like a virus or something like that.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, but no, I think your theory makes sense in theory, no pun intended. It could also be that I was reading about this with simulation theory, that the universe, or what we understand from the universe, isn't actually there. It's just part of an algorithm that the simulation projects.
Could be.
And also we might another part of that theory is that there's not enough energy as we perceive it from a scientific perspective to understand our entire universe. So it's just a projection based on our human algorithms that the simulation is creating. Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like the simulation idea, sometimes it makes so much sense, because sometimes you have a dream, and in the dream everything makes sense. Like you'd be walking on top of water and it makes sense.
Mm-hmm. You should try psychedelics.
Oh, like ayahuasca, or that's some interesting stuff. We should probably go.
Maybe that's another episode.
We should definitely do one on that.
I have stories.
Yeah.
Yeah, that pretty much covers it.
That's pretty much it. Yeah, like it's I don't know, we can kind of delve more into aliens. Did I ever tell you about that interview of an alien that I watched on YouTube, which was probably fabricated? I think I did.
Like an alien was interviewed?
No. Yeah.
What did the alien look like?
The stereotypical one that you would see. Just Google alien, big eyes, big head. But the alien was from Earth. So this is all according to the alien. So the alien's from Earth, and they traveled back in time, because space-time, essentially, if you travel through space, you're traveling through time. They're one and the same. If you think big enough in terms of space. So the alien was saying that he traveled back in time from Earth, very far in the future. And in that point in time in the future, humanity had essentially nuked itself almost into oblivion, and there went into a nuclear winter. And that's why they have like these big eyes, because light is so hard, doesn't come through these dense cloud cover. And what was left of humanity has essentially evolved into what you would think of as aliens. That's why they look like us, according to this alien. And it was going on and saying that the reason why they're here and the reason why they travel back in time was that they're trying to find out why we nuked ourselves. We were so advanced, we were so much better off. And it's like, why did you do that to yourselves? And it was just a matter of just saying like this is all coming from the alien, that the reason why they showed up during World War II, because that's when the nuclear bomb was created. Watched the Oppenheimer movie, really good, great film. But apparently that's when they showed up because of all these weapons. And you got Roswell after that. You have them showing up during like the Korean War and other major hotspots during the Cold War, and always around like Navy ships, always around military bases because that's where the weaponry would be. And their whole thing
Always
was
out in the desert.
always out in the desert. Yeah. So, but that's what it was just basically
that's perfect place to hide your spaceship.
it would be yeah.
And there's also military bases out there, so
Yeah, military bases, easy place to hide. Abduct
Makes
cows
sense.
for in case you're short on calcium. Yeah.
Have you guys seen those time travel photos of people
Oh yeah.
not wearing the same attire as everybody else?
Yeah, I've seen those. I've seen people like debunk them too, which is interesting. There's one where the guy it was like the early days of the camera, and he was there and he looks like he's like a modern day hipster, and they're like, well, he's wearing like this graphic tee and has like a cardigan on, and the person was like, well, that kind of clothing did exist at the time, and they kind of showed pictures of it, like other pictures, like these are like people didn't just dress like this all the time. It's just kind of our perception of the past because Hollywood is kind of gave us that perception. So also when you do look at the past is that only rich people are the ones who could get their photograph taken because they could have afforded it, or have their picture painted because they're ones who could afford it. So yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah. By the way,
Checks
listen
out.
to our episode on time travel and simulation.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
highly recommended by us.
Yes. Very impartial.
Yeah, we're not biased at all. Alrighty.
Yeah. I think if I'm an alien, I'll be very excited to see another planet. So I'm not gonna fight them.
Yeah, actually, yeah. What would your reaction
Like
be?
most movies.
Like,
Yeah, like most movies, you would have like aliens attacking Earth and stuff. But I think I'll be very super excited.
yeah, like they have a tourism board or something. I'm going to Earth this weekend. Don't let them see you.
What would you do if you were an alien and you came to Earth? What was the first thing you would do?
Oh man, like
Cry.
perhaps well, I mean, there's so much stuff on Earth that as an alien, if I don't have it on my planet, I would like to explore places, food.
You know those travel shows that's like dark tourism?
Oh yeah.
Do you think Earth is dark tourism for aliens?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Like they believe what? Why is there bombs here? What's going on? Donald Trump. Heavy stuff.
Oh, it's so true.
Yep. Alrighty. Shall we do final thoughts?
Yeah, final thoughts. Yeah.
Or any- I don't actually have one. These are all the thoughts that I have.
Yeah, I think when we talk about, I mean, I don't know the distinction between life on a planet compared to aliens. I'm guessing they're the same thing, but I do believe that there's like life on another planet because there's so many planets. So there's definitely something out there, but I don't think they would be willing to attack us unless maybe we would attack other people. And that's why we think they would attack us. Make sense?
Yeah, I got you.
Like if you're a criminal, you think everyone is about to come and rob you. So,
You're just projecting
Yeah.
your own insecurities.
Actually, life coming from another planet is possible. Like there's this one species, it's like a microscopic species called the tardigrades. They look like kind of chunky walruses with like 6 or 8 legs, and they have like a little circular mouth, and they can survive in space. They can pretty much survive anywhere, and they have been found in space.
Wait, do they breathe?
No, they don't breathe anything.
Do they breathe?
I don't know how they survive, but they can survive in space, which is a complete vacuum. So maybe they can hold their breath for a long period of time. I'm not sure, but they have been found.
Yeah. Have you guys?
Yeah. So life.
Have you guys tried this before? Like put ants in a tub. Like as a kid, I used to do this. Just grab an ant, fill your tub, and then just put the ants in, and the ants would be crawling under the.
Yeah.
So I don't know if ants like breathe. If they don't, then perhaps maybe they can exist in space.
Yeah, maybe. They don't belong in your tub though.
Yeah.
They are
Well, like,
alien in your tubs. They're alien in your tub.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know if ants. I assume they have lungs, but yeah, tardigrades, they can survive in space. So having an actual microorganism from another planet arriving on Earth is possible, and it could arrive on Earth from meteorite, asteroid. Yeah.
Oh yeah, this actually brings the case of things falling from the sky that has things on them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
That was going to be my thought, that, you know, asteroids and meteors have hit Earth in the past. Who's to say that aliens that are more advanced don't live in a part of the galaxy where asteroids and, you know, universe debris just destroys them every few years and they just can't advance? It's another one of those Fermi paradox theories.
So this is just off topic, but does it mean then, therefore, if Earth destroys, life will still, like, there's still gonna be a way that life can travel from Earth somewhere else?
Yeah, it's possible. Like, there has been a mass extinction on Earth, I think 6 or 7 times already.
Yep.
So, and there is life here on Earth. So, still.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unless you go to Congress and there's like 75-year-olds there, there's no life.
Just zombies. Zombies do exist in Congress.
So true. My final thought is, life has, to quote Jurassic Park, life will find a way, and it always has. And whether it's in a simulation or we are in fact in base reality, but all of these theories and all of these equations rely on the fact that it relies on either we're in base reality or the simulation is the size of the universe and not just the size of our solar system, because we have never had anything that's outside of our solar system that we know of. So who knows? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah.
Who knows indeed. Either way, life goes on Earth, and you can follow the Raised Eyebrow on all the social medias. And remember, kids, we still don't know for sure if intelligent life exists on planet Earth.
On planet Earth?
I always think that there's like
Intelligent.
one guy in the Pentagon or something, and he's the one who holds all the secrets about aliens, and he's just like freaking out. You're the only one on Earth who knows this stuff.
He's just drugged up on antidepressants.